But I'm Mark Franz. I'm the village manager in Glen Ellyn. I'll be trying to attempt to be the MC this morning, but appreciate the big crowd and really appreciate everyone coming out on Thanksgiving week here. I'd like to recognize our elected officials and other notable guests here with us today before calling on a few of them to speak. So obviously Congressman Sean Caston, Congressman Raja, Krishnamurthy are here. Really appreciate their time. We have Carissa Cerez Del Rio from Senator Durbin's office here as well. Is Peter Danos here? Peter Danos from Tammy Duckworth's Suburban Community Outreach Coordinator. And then we've got Tara Costa Howard, our House Representative from 48th District. Natalie Brenner from State Senator Sue Hilton's office. Natalie is here. I saw her earlier right there. Sorry. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for being here. We've got two county board members, Mary Ozog and Tim Elliott are here. Thank you very much. This project involves the fabulous Prairie Path that's just across the street here, or the tracks here, so we're going to be partnering with the county on this project. Kurt Dillard, chairman of the RTA board, is here. And David Analducio he's a new RTA board member. He's here as well. Thank you, David, for being here. We're going to hear from John Zediker from the Metro Board. John, thank you for being here, former county board member. And Mayor Craig is here as well, who's also a Metro Board member. Mayor, thank you for being here. Mayor Craig's involved in 146 agencies, so it's Aaron Allman is the Executive Director with CMAP. Aaron, thank you very much for attending. We'll hear from her in a few minutes. And then a few of our local trustees, President Diane McGinley is going to open the ceremony up in a few minutes, but we have Trustee Christensen and Trustees Thompson. Both are hiding up right now. There we go. We also have former trustee Pete Ladisek and former trustee John Kenwood here. This project has spanned multiple boards, so thank you, gentlemen, for all your work on this project here. And we have Tim Loftus, who is our Historic Preservation Chair. Thank you, Tim, for being here. We're excited about the look and feel of this station. And then a few more. Eric Valerio from Union Pacific is here. Eric, thank you very much for being here. Lastly, Travis Linderman and Joe Cassidy from Innovation DuPage and College of DuPage, respectively. Thank you guys for being here. So again, I will get the ceremony started by turning it over to President McGinley for some opening remarks. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Franz. Welcome to beautiful downtown Glen Ellyn for an exciting celebration. I would like to start off with a few basic facts about our station and forthcoming project. The Glen Ellyn Metro Station is the second busiest stop on the Union Pacific West Line and the 9th busiest of Metro's 236 stations. The village values public transportation and recognizes that its Metro Station will only become even more important to the community moving forward. This project, which includes building a new metro station and pedestrian tunnel, will significantly improve safety and accessibility to the station, which has been a priority for the village for nearly 10 years. With an estimated cost of $20 million, the greatest challenge in moving this project forward has been the funding. However, after 3 years of hard work, I am pleased to officially announce that CMAP has awarded $14.4 million. And congressional mitigation and air quality improvement funding for the project. I want to thank all of our local and regional partners for support and commitment to this important project. And thank you to CMAP for recognizing the project's value and awarding the CMAP funding. The project simply would not be able to move forward without it. For a little background on this station, the village completed a feasibility study in 2013. We move very fast here. to evaluate options and determine how best to plan for future freight train, traffic, pedestrian needs, and overall accessibility. The village initially took this large project on with our local resources because of how much we value our station and want to see it sustainable for generations to come. Capacity, safety, and accessibility are our biggest drivers of this project, with the improvements to only further sustain the vitality of our downtown and the overall community. In terms of capacity, the new depot will be significantly larger with an increased capacity of 116%, thereby accommodating current ridership with room for anticipated growth. In terms of safety, the lack of grade-separated pedestrian crossings creates challenges for the community. If Metro switches tracks, unscheduled or scheduled, these commuters have to hustle to opposite sides utilizing park and main crossings. If there is a freight train, you will miss your train. In addition, there are times when trains block the crossings. If that occurs, you will miss your train. As you experienced this morning, parking is primarily located south of the station, and pedestrians have to walk several hundred feet to west to Main Street or east to Park to the at-grade level crossings over the tracks. Commuters sometimes run a little late, so at times this is a dangerous situation. And if there is a freight train, you will miss your train. In addition, there are times when the trains block the crossings. Sometimes these blockages occur for hours, which is when we get pedestrians who have been trapped on one side, decide to chance it and cross between the cable cars. If that occurs, you miss your train, and it's a major safety issue. The new ADA-compliant pedestrian underpass minimizes safety issues for the hundreds or even thousands of at-grade pedestrian crossings that occur weekly. In terms of accessibility, this project also improves its overall multi-modal access, including public transportation and biking. The new facility will increase access for PACE bus service and expand bicycle parking from 92 spaces to 200 spaces. Additionally, people will have safer access to the Illinois Prairie Path located immediately adjacent to the station. And thank you to the county for providing and maintaining this great asset for Glen Ellyn. This project will also address ADA accessibility challenges that come with older facilities, including designated ADA drop-off and pickup areas on either side of the tracks, ADA accessible washrooms, and accessible ramps and sidewalks. Additional parking is planned that includes a new parking garage directly across from the train station located behind the Civic Center. This investment will allow the village to reduce the 800 commuter waiting list and support additional Metro riders while reducing congestion on our roads. One heartfelt story. During the public workshops held early in the planning process, we heard from residents about the importance of providing safe crossings for students and also for those with visual and physical challenges. One resident who is blind gave an emotional testimony explaining their daily fears at crossings when they hear the signal gates, but are unsure about how far they have to cross and fearful of tripping on the tracks as the train approaches. This tunnel will provide a safe alternative. In closing, on behalf of the Village Board of Trustees, again, thank you for being here today and your continued support on this critical project for Glen Ellyn.
Thank you, President McGinley. Let's turn it over to Congressman Sean Caston for a few words from the Congressman of the 6th District.
I just want to congratulate you all. I think I had been in office for maybe 2 weeks. I'm not even sure if I was sworn in yet when President McGinley called up and said, look, we really need help. There's this project, we need you to come through, and we need like $14 million. And so you show up, and I'm proud to have played some small role in pushing this through, but the reality is you get to that meeting and say, all right, what's the scope? And it's clear there were a ton of people, way beyond the people who were thanked here today, who played a role in thinking through, because first we went down and we looked at your bridge that's a little unsafe, about a mile or so, your underpass that's a little unsafe, all these conversations, should this be an overpass, should this be an underpass, how do you make sure you've got appropriate access for the disabled and work through. And you don't get these things done unless you have tons of people who are really thinking about doing it the right way. So it's a testament to all the hard work that went in here. You know, sometimes success in life is about timing, and you guys give me ribbon cuttings of innovation at DuPage come too. And now this event, so kudos to all of you. But also, this is just a kudos to the Chicago region.
Train number 42, scheduled to arrive Chicago at 10:50 a.m. will board from platform number 3, opposite the station. Board your next inbound train from platform number 3. Please use caution when crossing the tracks and look in both directions for approaching trains. Train number 42, Chicago at 10:50 a.m. Board from platform number 3, opposite the station. Board your next inbound train from platform number 3.
It's actually an appropriate break, because I was about to say that the Chicago region does not exist but for massive investments in it. You know, this region was built because freight, and you know, I live in Downers Grove, folks in Glen Ellyn, because we've got this wonderfully vibrant commuter system. And the fact that we've got these upgrades going on here, new station going up in Cary that we just went through, the new bridge overpass in Elgin. This takes a huge coalition of a whole lot of people, and it's what keeps this region vibrant. So thank you to all of you who played a role in this.
Thank you very much. Let's now turn it over to Congressman Krishnamurthy for a few more comments.
I'm going to talk very fast before the next announcement is made. It's so nice to come here, and so nice to come someplace they pronounce your name right. When I first ran for office a long time ago, I went and introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name is Raja Krishnamurthy." And the person looking right back at me in Chicago said, "Roger Christian Murphy." I didn't know the Irish made it to you. So it's so nice to be here. I want to observe those 3 rules of public speaking: be short, be sweet, and be gone. And I want to first of all ask all of you to give President McGinley and the entire leadership of the village of Glen Ellyn a big round of applause. As Sean said, they have been very diligent in coming into our offices and kind of informing and educating us about what's going on, what are the next steps, how can we play a constructive role in moving it forward. And so we were so proud to play a modest part in supporting this, which leads me to my second point, which is give me and all of us a big round of applause for supporting this project. You have Democrats, you have Republicans, you have fans, Sox fans, everyone behind this thing. And I think in a time when, you know, unfortunately, you see a lot of polarization in a lot of places, fortunately, we can come together and get things done, and this is just an example of that, and a very important one. And my third and final point is this, which is I think everybody here is a big believer that we have to fight global climate change. But to really make that happen, you have to make that local.
Train number 42, at Chicago at 10:50 a.m. Will board from platform number 3, opposite the station.
And thank you for suspending the no
from platform number 3.
for us today.
Please use caution when crossing the tracks and look in both directions for approaching trains.
I just want to simply say,
Train number 42, scheduled to arrive Chicago at 10:50 a.m. Will board from platform number 3,
essential
opposite
if we're
the
actually
station.
going to get our arms around
Board
this
your next
problem.
inbound
What you
train
guys
from
are
platform
doing here is
number
encourage
3.
more of that. I can
Please
see
use
so
caution
many
when
people
crossing the
using
tracks
this
and look in
station
both
more
directions
now
for
than
approaching
before,
trains.
because quite simply, they can get to their trains on time. And that's really the essential piece, in my belief, as to why people use mass transit. They're just concerned. Am I going to make my meeting on time downtown? Am I going to get to my appointment on time? And this removes a big impediment to people, you know, actually taking advantage. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to see the project begin and get it completed. And thank you to all of you for supporting this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the comments. Next, we're going to hear from John Zedeker, who represents DuPage County on the Metro Board. So we'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you to our Congressman, President McGinley, and all of you for coming out today. Safety, accessibility, and economic vitality. This project will bring all of those benefits to Glen Ellyn, DuPage County, and our entire region. As President McGinley mentioned, this station is the second busiest stop on the UP West line. But let me put that in a little bit of context. That's more than 1,929 boardings each weekday, as measured by our most recent 2018 survey. That's an 11% increase from 2016. As President McGinley said, that now makes Glen Ellyn the 9th busiest station in our system, rising from 14
Train
just
number
2 years
42,
ago.
scheduled to
That's an
arrive
11%
Chicago
increase in
at 10:50
ridership.
a.m. Will board from
That's out of
platform
our
number
network
3,
of 242
opposite the station.
stations.
Board your next inbound train from
This
platform
project
number
will seek
3.
to meet the additional
Please
demand,
use
as
caution
well
when
as, of
crossing
course,
the tracks
accommodate
and look
future
in both
ridership.
directions for
Metro
approaching
worked very
trains.
closely with Glen Ellyn to provide the additional
Train
funding for this
number
project
42,
that will help
scheduled to
satisfy that
arrive
demand and
Chicago
further
at
advance
10:50
our mission
a.m.
of providing the
Will board
safest,
from
most
platform
efficient,
number
and
3,
most reliable
opposite the
service to our
station.
customers. To
Board
further
your
accomplish
next
these goals,
inbound train
we
from
must
platform
continue to
number
invest in
3.
infrastructure,
Please use
not just
caution
for
when
trains
crossing
and
the
locomotives.
tracks
We
and
must
look
make
in
it
both
easy for
directions
people
for
to ride
approaching trains.
and remove barriers to transit, including the improvement of pedestrian and bike access to all of our metro stations. Along those lines, and as safety is our highest priority, we're especially excited about the pedestrian underpass for this project that will create a safe crossing at this very important transportation node. And finally, in today's funding environment, it's imperative that Metro continue to be a partner with the communities we serve, together leveraging our federal, state, and local resources to meet the challenges of operating such a large and complex system. And we were very happy to support the village's efforts and improvements to this critical station. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today to celebrate the funding of this project, and Metro looks forward to working with the village for its implementation. Thank you.
And lastly, Erin Ullman is the Executive Director of CMAP, and she'd like to have a few words as well. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm the Executive Director of CMAP, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. CMAP is the regional planning agency that's responsible for programming, congestion mitigation, air quality, improvement program funds. So while I would like to take full credit for this, I have to say that the way that we look at CMAP is really performance-based. And this project stands on its own in terms of the benefits that it's going to bring to our region. I just want to mention briefly how these station enhancements fit into the bigger regional picture and the goals that we have as a regional planning agency for the region. Part of our plan, On to 2050, talks about having a safe and reliable transportation system for everyone. The addition of the grade separation underpass really will make the station not only safer for everyone, but brings greater safety and accessibility through the pedestrian underpass, and really make sure that folks that have disabilities or folks that have a stroller, for instance, can get through to the places that they need to go. As we look to the future and we see more people riding transit, we hope that that happens not only because it's safe, affordable, and convenient, but because it's a choice that helps mitigate the effects of climate change. We set a goal of creating a region that's more resilient and prepared for the changes that we expect to come with a changing climate. So one way we're supporting that goal is by prioritizing investments with federal transportation dollars. The grant that Glen Ellyn is receiving is from the Congestion Mitigation Air
Train
Quality
number 42,
Program,
scheduled to arrive Chicago at 10:50 a.m. Will board from platform number 3, opposite
We
the
know that this
station.
project will help
Board
achieve
your
those
next
goals by
inbound train
making
from platform number 3.
attractive choice for
Please use
riders.
caution when crossing the tracks and look in both directions for approaching trains.
So,
Train number 42, scheduled to arrive Chicago at 10:50 a.m. Will board from platform number 3, opposite the station. Board your next inbound train from platform number 3. Please use caution when crossing the tracks and look in both
we know
directions
this
for
project will
approaching
achieve
trains.
both of the goals of improving air quality and safety by making transit an attractive choice for everyone across our region. And in turn will increase ridership because more people will choose to take it because it's safe and convenient. We also believe that this will eliminate dangerous chemicals from our air, helping make this region a healthier, safer place for all of us. So we are thrilled to be able to work with the region's communities on investing in transit because it really improves quality of life locally and regionally. So thank you for having me today.
All right, just to wrap up again, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. I think we're going to have many opportunities for some photos after I'm done talking. But just wanted to ask all of you to continue to support this project. We've got some big hurdles behind us, but still some in the future too. So let's stay diligent and see this thing through. And thanks for being here, and have a great Thanksgiving week, everyone.